good, everybody? It's your boy Tossman here once again alongside my tag team partner, Dale Clifford. Welcome to yet another episode of the No Gimmicks podcast. Dale, what's good, my man?
All right. Trip number 2 of actually being in the
same room at the same time. Yes, sir. So joining us today, we have got the Rose Voice himself. I want Mr. J. Biggs.
What's up, man?
And over here, Dr. Laslo. All right, fellas, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into this here. So, first off, for both of you, what inspired you to join the professional wrestling business, and for how long have each of you been involved in the business? Jay, we'll start with you.
Just like pretty much 99% of the people in professional wrestling, I wanted to get into the business because I liked it growing up. I was a fan. I still am. I'm still, I guess throw the word mark out there if you want, but that's, you know what I mean? I love professional wrestling. So I still love it to this day, even though, sometimes it can be a headache, but, it is what it is. Here I am.
All right.
That's pretty much what it is.
What you guys say there, Dr. Laslo?
Pretty much the same thing. Just fell in love with the business as a kid, somewhere right around WrestleMania 3.
Okay.
Just lifelong fan, and then as fate would have it, I moved here to Reno, Nevada, and had the opportunity to actually get into school. So I did that, and here we are now. That was probably, 500, 500 years ago.
Like something like that. About to say 7 years ago, man.
Feels like forever ago, right? Yeah, almost a decade.
That's a long time struggling.
Right, we're born again and have children at this point.
What match from WrestleMania 3 was the one that inspired you the most? Would you say? You had to choose one.
It's probably cliche because it's everybody Hogan and Andre, but I was a kid. It was the main. It was Hogan. It was the All-American Hero.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the one I looked for. But obviously, after becoming a man and rewatching things, there's plenty of matches on that card you could pick from to say outstanding.
Savage and Steamboat.
See, that's the other one people go to as well. But I'm a comedic guy. There's other ones on there that people wouldn't say were the best match as far as work rate, but there's other things to me that are part of the match that can be just as entertaining. So
okay, cool. Del, what you got for these guys?
All right, Jay. So you've had the opportunity to work the SoCal scene. Yeah. So how is it a little bit different than what we've got up here in the NorCal side?
Okay. Well, I started with Jesse Hernandez at EWF. He was in that section of town anyways that I worked, which is Covina, San Bernardino. he was the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sectioned out much, much like different federations have kind of a small territory, like Sacramento's SPW, and PW and Hood Slam, and South Bay is like Revolution, and much like there, Jesse Hernandez ran his area, and so I really didn't get much exposure to outside of him when I was down in the SoCal scene. So coming up here to NorCal, I've worked with pretty much all the federations, I guess you could say, other than something that might be brand new or something. I can't think of any offhand, but I don't really know how I would say it differs other than it seemed like there was a business guy that was running what I saw down in Southern California. There's a lot of the boys running the boys and stuff like that up here. It's a little bit different,
mm-hmm.
But it's just structured different. That's all. The talents in both sides, there's no difference there. There's tons of talent in NorCal, tons of talent in SoCal. So difference would just be like what I saw myself, how it was ran. That's pretty much it. But there's lots of big things happening now in the NorCal scene that weren't before.
Mm-hmm.
When I first came to the NorCal scene, there wasn't. There's not much going on. I think the Cow Palace show then drew like 20 people or something. It was
right.
It was very ill-fated from what I understand. So
right.
What a difference 10 years makes. So
mm-hmm.
Things are happening for them. People like Hood Slam. So. You know, it's a big difference now compared to then. So I'm really trying to figure out the best way to answer that. And it's really just at the times I was seeing how it was ran by different people. Now things are a little bit better, definitely up north for sure.
Okay. All right, cool. So Dale, what you got for him?
So you've turned your ring announcing into the nickname, the Rolls Voice. So how did that kind of stick?
I just really wanted something that was interesting, and that sticking. I don't know, you know, when I think of like the Titus ride or something like a car, you know, it's like a Rolls Royce to me, you know what I mean? And one day I was looking at the emblem and I'm like, oh, that kind of like Rolls Voice, that kind of sounds cool, you know? Mm-hmm. And then I saw the emblem and I'm thinking to myself, man, you could put that on a business card or something like that. And next thing you know, I did it. And so, I've had those business cards for a while now, but the Rolls Voice logo stuck. And so I just trademarked it. I thought it was kind of cool, and I'm the only person using it. So, you know, here I am. But it's carried on into what I do with MMA and stuff like that too, and other sporting events like boxing. And you know, I've gone over and actually done some wrestling in Sacramento. And when I say wrestling, I've got a high school coach who actually, you know, brings me in as a ring announcer sometimes when his high school team meets. They have a drop light at the school. They do like an entranceway with lights and everything, but they're high school wrestlers. But he likes the theatrics of it. He told the kids if they do really well, that he'll hook them up with like this really cool show and bring in a ring announcer and all that kind of stuff. And he does it. And so I like being part of that, because I remember being in wrestling in school and thinking to myself, oh, how cool would it be if I could get like all my friends to do things like the Fireflies with Bray Wyatt or something, you know what I mean? Like, you know, well, not the same thing, you know, but because it wasn't around then. But I was thinking, you know, like everybody has flashlights or something. How cool would it be, you know? And it was like, so just being part of that and seeing these kids come out and, you know, I like to be part of it.
I didn't like high school wrestling, man. I remember I slapped the Boston Crab on a dude. That was one of the matches. And the dude said, he was just like, you can't do that in this. And I was like, why? He goes, because this is wrestling, not pro wrestling. I was like, man, I don't want to do this then. I quit. Seriously. Right. I was like, this is dumb. I was like, I'm not feeling this, man. Hey, so, Jay, what would you say would be the crown achievement of your announcing career? Like, what show or what event do you think stands up the most?
Well, jeez. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I got a few of those. Trying to think.
Top three, like if you have a couple of them.
I'd say the New Japan show, the forgotten New Japan show of SWF in Ridley, California. What I loved about that was, I mean, I got to actually, you know, announce Shinsuke Nakamura, Alex Shelley, Kushida, you know, Bad Luck Fale, you know, all those guys, you know, that were out for that. That was kind of cool. You know, I would also say announcing King of the Cage has been huge on MAV TV. I've had the opportunity to do that for them for just a little over a year now. So that's a big thing for me as my MMA and progressing forward with that. I really focus on that because there's a lot of respect and a lot of, you know, it's just the way you get treated as an MMA ring announcer and a professional wrestling ring announcer are night and day, completely different. It's almost like, you know, everybody's just very humble, like, oh my God, you know, you know, do you need anything? Do you need waters? You know, can I get you stuff? You know, like, what do you think? You know, like, taking care of you with hotel rooms, paying you well, you know what I mean? Flights, stuff like that. You know, it's almost like, and it's not just King of the Cage, you know, thank God for that. I have a couple others that I do as well, but you know, they all treat you well. And as a ring announcer in professional wrestling, you're usually right at the bottom of the totem pole. You're lucky if you get paid, and it's usually like, you know, the promoter's buddy that does it for free. Yeah. You know, so you know, I did my best as a ring announcer. It's funny to try to at least when I was in the NorCal scene. You know, my dad always taught me to, you know, never do anything you're good at for free. You know, and so that's the way I feel about it, you know, and so I try to, you know, hit people up for money, and that equals having a big head. So, you know, you know how that goes anyways. So, yeah, it's just different being on the MMA side. I will say my top thing I've ever done is wrestling as a ring announcer. As my first would be Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor 8. And that was WrestleMania weekend. You know, what was it, Redwood City.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They're out for WrestleMania 31.
Cool.
So
Very cool.
That was a huge thing, and I've actually got a good dialogue with Joe Koff. I've emailed back and forth every once in a while. I'm not his buddy or anything like that. I don't try to play that off, but I got to meet up with him this last year in Orlando and actually shake his hand and face to face, like, oh, you're the guy I've been emailing with, and talking with him, and so that was kind of cool because I actually hooked up with Kerry Silkin when I was here in Redwood City.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, so
chance to meet him.
Yeah, it's good how it all played out, so that would probably be my top wrestling achievement. Is that
all right? Dale, what you got for him?
So talk to us a little bit about Action Packed Wrestling Nevada.
What about Action Packed Wrestling Nevada? There's not much to it.
Roster, potential events coming up. I mean, like what you guys have planned, under that banner.
Well, under that banner, let's put it like this: I don't throw much out there in the way of plans. What I do simply comes on right now, anyways, the Taco Fest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how it's been the last couple of years. Action Packed Wrestling Nevada at one time was Classic Pro Wrestling. Me and Jay Slater ran that. It's since folded up. He's got Slater's Ding-a-Wing. Shout out to him, and some good way for him. Anyway,
Where?
I just got
Where?
No,
shall I hit him up while I'm here?
Right, right here in Reno, man. He's got a mobile food.
Oh, a food truck.
Like food truck?
It's
Yeah.
not a joke.
Oh
It's
my
not a
gosh,
joke.
dude. He's got some of the best,
All right.
best wings ever.
I want details, Jay.
Yeah. Maybe after this, we'll go hit some up. But anyway, so yeah, it was at one time that Classic Pro Wrestling. We had, 3 good shows, and it's just since then, Slater's left the wrestling business, kind of, I guess you could say. And, I'm just kind of off doing my own thing with Cumulus Media.
Okay.
This is something that, corporate Atlanta got in touch, with the general manager here in town and said, we want to do this for the Taco Fest. Obviously, there I am working there, as an account executive at Cumulus Media. And so, she just knew, hey, I got to hit up Biggs about this. And of course, she reached out, the general manager, to other promotions, some in the Bay Area, I believe, and even maybe even locally, I'm not sure. But, the prices she got is compared, obviously, to what I knew I could give her as being an employee of hers. That she was like, oh, I'm going to go with that, So
Okay.
There we go, and that's what I got. I got a Taco Fest show every once a year. That's it. That's it. I dish up hot dogs, handshakes, ribs, and tacos once a year.
All right.
That's it.
I don't know. I like the food selection, at least, and nothing else. So speaking of food, one of the more memorable times I've had with you was going over to, I want to say it was either Coach's Barbecue or one of the little barbecue spots, the Oakland style barbecue spot, I think. It was me, you, and your boy Country.
Country Bear.
Now, as we know, Country's he's sitting down for a minute for several years.
Hopefully he's sitting down, yeah.
But just share with us what would you say would be your favorite Country Bear story, man? Explain to our viewers who Country is. Like, kind of,
Country Bear is a brother that is 6'5", 300 pounds, blue-eyed, dark like Wesley Snipes. And here's the craziest thing. Brandon Gatson said this to me one time, and I was like, you're right, but it's true. Country Bear never wore shoes. He didn't.
I never saw him wear shoes.
He never wore shoes, and his feet were calloused, but those were his shoes, bro. Like, the dude got married with no shoes. He walked around day to day with no shoes. He probably got rode up at work for out having shoes. Like, I don't know. But Country Bear, man. I'm trying to think of a really, really, really good story here. Relic one time.
Okay.
Relic in Arizona.
Uh-huh.
And this was during like his first year or so. And before the match, Relic told him, he's like, give me a choke slam. We'll go home after that. Or something like that. And he said, sir, I don't, and he talked like he was very polite.
He did say sir.
Sir, and yes, ma'am, and yeah, and so anyway, so Country said, sir, I don't know how to do choke slam.
No.
Well, do it anyway. You just grab me by the neck, lift me up and throw me down. He's like, I'm telling you, man, I don't know how to do a choke slam. And I'm thinking to myself, I could probably pull off a choke slam, you know, but okay, you know, somehow Country fucked it up and threw relic on his head like John Cena landed from Shinsuke the other day. And yeah, fold him and have knocked him out. And you can see in the video, it's funny. I saw the video of it, and the Country goes down in the ring and is like bobbing his head, like, "You all right, man? You all right?" You could tell he was just out, like flopping his head, and Country's still playing with the refs, like, "Hey, man, just pin him, take it home," you know. And so the Country was trying to be polite, you know, like, "I'm sorry," you know, but then after the match, you know, he told him, he's like, "Man, I told you before the match, I didn't know how to do a power or a choke slam," you know, and he's like, "Yeah, I guess you were right." Fucked up a choke slam. I got other funny stories too.
Oh, I bet. But, something we're gonna keep on the hush though.
Oh yeah, right.
All right, so Nico has been sitting over here patiently. So Dale, what you got for Nico?
You're up now, and we're going to just want you to tell us a little bit of how you developed your Dr. Laslo character.
You know, we probably heard it 100 million times in different interviews, but they always say the best characters are something that's close to you, just dialed up a little bit. And anybody that knows me knows I have a tremendous mouth. I'm constantly just playing games, goofing off. You know, I'm lighthearted. So some of the things that the character does are an extension of that. You know, you can ask Terrific Tyson Reigns about his injuries sustained last year. I don't know how many people
his testicular.
This is Scooter.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
you need not say more. Scooter, we love you. You subscribe to us, man, but you're a character, bro.
Low blow Laslo.
Hashtag low blow Laslo.
Hey, so
I just want to say,
go ahead.
Just elaborating a little bit on this. This is what I love about wrestling, okay? I've been told by people, which is fine. Everybody has their own opinion, that I'll never be the greatest worker. I'll never be the best wrestler. Fine. As long as I'm having fun. If I'm entertaining those fans, when I come through that curtain, whether I'm a heel, whether I'm a face, whatever my job is for that evening, if I make those fans boo me out of the building, if I make them stand up and cheer me, I'm doing my job. And as long as I'm having fun, I'm entertaining those crowds, I'm not hurting anybody. It doesn't matter to me what other people think. I enjoy, again, as I said, I'm a lighthearted person. I like to joke. I definitely want to have some fun out there, you know? So, yeah, I just want to put that across that, you know, it takes all types in this business. Some of us are 600 pounds and can't jump 2 inches off the ground. Some of us are 150 pounds and can fly through the air. But it takes all of us. So, just something to think about.
Very true. So now, speaking of which, you have actually been a champion, right? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You have? Occasions. So now, tell us, where did it happen, and who did you defeat in order to gain those titles?
Okay. The first title I won, unfortunately, had been, I don't know if you want to say surrendered or, was he stripped? I don't know. The
management had taken the championship off of the previous champion.
Okay.
Didn't defend it in the amount of a lot of time. So.
There you go.
So, like, unlike the WWE, y'all actually have the what's it, 30 days it has to be defended, basically?
You know, I didn't make up the rules.
You know what? Let's just say I tacked on about 270 days to that. So yeah, it was a very lackluster run. So I just took it off.
Okay.
So and this is it's kind of been my gimmick the past few years. You know, I win titles. And again, you know, it's not about the title to me. It's not about.
He collects
championships. Again, let me explain something to you. I do, but seriously, at the end of the day, we're all men in this business. You know what I mean? So there needs to be a certain amount of respect, and the titles and all that, it's great. But at the end of the day, it's like another stepping stone. It's just another achievement. It's just another something that I can put on my wall. One day the kids can say, hey, my dad did that.
Damn straight.
So, but to answer the question, because I didn't give an answer, the first title was the Pro Wrestling Invasion Heavyweight.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. I defeated Terrific Tyson Reigns for that title.
Infernally.
A little known town name.
My man is from right here.
Right.
He's from Fernley, man.
It happened right there. There was an invasion right there in your town, an alien invasion. You didn't even know about it.
Dale was sleeping.
At the raceway.
I got the Men in Black treatment.
Oh, you did? Okay. I would like tattoos. You have that? Preferably for sure. Anyways, that's right.
It's a good one.
That's great.
So the second title, the more controversial of the two, the Reno Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship.
Mm-hmm.
It was won in a triple threat last year at the Taco Fest with Terrific Tyson Reigns and Odd One the Vikings.
That's right.
I look forward to
I
seeing
have no idea who the hell that is.
It's a big guy.
You should know who he is, man. He's a huge guy. He's a very big guy. And he's coming in from Utah, actually. So he works the Utah scene. Quite a bit. And so, yeah, he's one of the guys actually featured this year at Taco Fest. He's going to be there.
Got you.
Part of the tournament. So there's a way for you to see him right there.
All right.
And if I see correctly, something over my shoulder here. And
come collecting belts.
Wait a minute.
That's right.
So this would be third year in a row. Yeah, we're going to go 3 for 3. Yeah, I think so.
Are you calling it?
I don't know. It looks pretty.
You going Babe Ruth on us, man? You calling it? What you got in that?
Written in the stars, baby. It's written in the stars.
So you've had to overcome some obstacles and adversity professionally. So just kind of what motivates you to keep going?
At this point, the fact that I can get up and put my feet on the floor is motivation enough.
Right.
No, I'm just joking. I love wrestling. My motivation is obviously leaving some sort of legacy that my kids can be proud of their dad. I am very blessed. I want to tell everybody that I'm very blessed to have a partner and promoter like Jay Biggs to work with. As he was explaining earlier about his experiences between MMA and pro wrestling and the difference in the treatment.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you, just from having been around, you'll see the same thing in wrestling. You'll have some promotions, and there's some great ones in NorCal. I want to say that. There are some great promotions out there that take care of their guys. I have much respect for them. I'm not going to go through and name everybody, but a lot of respect for some of these guys. Then you have some that don't treat them as well. And that's where I mentioned earlier about us being men. This is supposed to be a brotherhood. Okay, from what I was taught, we're a brotherhood. Okay, and it's also a business. But I often find that you will have guys. Again, I won't say any names, but there have been interviews where you ask a guy, "Why this or why that? Why doesn't this one like you? Why doesn't that one like you?" They won't give you a straight answer.
Mm-hmm.
You see a guy in your face, and we're taught. No, first thing, are we not? We're taught when we show up to shows, you shake everyone's hand, you introduce. There's a respect that's shown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there comes a point when a man is tired of showing a respect that's not being shown back. I've been to more than enough shows where nobody came and shook my hand, nobody came and said anything to me.
Mm-hmm.
So why do I need to please any of them? At the end of the day, that shows me that in their world, they're not worried about what's going on with me. They're not worried if I'm happy. Am I paid? Am I taken care of where I'm at? So, the way I get through the adversity and the strife is the way I've done my entire life. I do it my way. I'm a sensible person. I can listen to reason, but my entire life from a kid, if I didn't do it for myself, it didn't get done. And I know for a fact in all of our lives, unfortunately, when we go to the grave, nobody goes with us. So if you don't make yourself happy, ain't nobody else can do it for you.
True.
That's very
True words. True words.
Sorry, didn't mean to rant.
That's okay. That's okay, man. Tell it like it is. So now
I'm trying to be professional here.
All right.
I'm trying not to go too deep.
So now here's one for you. Fan of hip hop, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's your favorite hip hop artist if you had to name one?
Of all time, it's Tupac.
Okay. So now would he be the one to do your custom intro? Or would it be somebody else?
No, absolutely. It would be Pac because a part of him, let me say there were some times in my life that were extremely bad. I didn't have any friends. I had a boombox. I had some Gimmicks. And I had some Tupac CDs. That attitude, that not braggadocious, but that like out there, the chest out, whatever comes my way, we're gonna face it head on. Ingrained in me. Like I don't shy away from trouble. I don't want any trouble. I don't want to cause trouble. But something comes my way, I'm going to address it. I'm going to meet it head on, and that's kind of my character too.
Okay.
I'll do whatever it takes to get that hand raised. Whatever. So
Pac.
He's the man. And a lot of people say, "Oh, his lyrics weren't all the greatest," and that. But you, as a fan of hip hop, Todd, you know this. When you play that man's music, it's the same thing I was talking about. How it takes all shapes. When he speaks, you can feel that energy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You can feel that coming at you. So he didn't have to be the best lyricist in the world. He could reach you with what he said, and the emotion and the passion that came from him when he said it. There you go.
Tupac had fans on the East Coast. He had fans in the Bay Area. This dude had fans over in Europe.
Right.
I mean, like Eastern Europe. There are dudes like over in Poland bumping his music. So like I said, he reached everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. I could agree with you on that. So Dale, we got the next question coming in.
So this one comes from Todd. So if you disagree, I wouldn't be surprised because he's very bad at this portion of things that he thinks he can do. Okay. But the question is like, have you ever been told you look like Ben Roethlisberger? All right,
I got one.
Todd is off the hook.
I'll tell you this: I have two different Roethlisbergers. I've been known to put on all my Steelers gear and go to a bar here and there. And, I might use it to my advantage.
It might have to be out in Pittsburgh in order for it to really work.
Yeah, not in Tahoe.
Yeah.
Show up for the celebrity golf tournament.
Oh, I ran into that dude golf tournament. This is going back probably about, that's got to be close to almost 10 years ago. He's a big dude. He might be taller than you even. I
believe he's listed about an inch taller than you.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that he's the quarterback, So,
man, buddy.
This one's here, both of you guys. McGregor or Mayweather?
That's like saying head or heart.
Well, but let me say this about that fight. If Conor McGregor knocks out Mayweather, it's very possible he could do it. It's very possible he could do it because any dog could have its day.
Yes.
It don't matter.
That's Mike Tyson.
Your size. Mike
Tyson, Buster Douglas is
right. That's what I'm trying to say. It don't matter what you got. You can get knocked out by anybody on any day if they get the right shot in on you.
Right.
But what's on the line here to me is the sport of boxing, because here is this guy that you literally are like, oh, he's the greatest of all time. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around it. He's the greatest of all time. But this dude just comes in and listen, McGregor's a great fighter. I don't know if he's the best of all time or not necessarily. But he's great in his weight classes and all that kind of stuff. But, he is kind of still, in my opinion, he is a superstar. But he's got stuff he's going to go off and do bigger if he keeps training at MMA. And so, to me, he's
WWE.
Right. He's still at the midpoint in his career in a weird way to me. Even though he's big. He's about to make a lot of money, though. But that's a whole other thing.
Is it funny to you that, like, as much as I hate Mayweather, okay, the man, like, he wins his fights by boxing. He may dance around and hit you and do all this stuff, but it's like that's the sweet science,
right?
You know. So as much as I hate him, at the same time, I can't be mad because he's really doing what the sport was intended to be originally.
Punch and don't get punched back.
Yeah, Ali.
Right?
Yeah,
Ali, perfect example.
Yeah,
You know, I think it's just we hate him so much because he talks a lot.
he's
And
got
he
more
never
money than all of
loses.
us combined.
If you want real action, my thought here is just the night before, go to that Penthouse Club and go see Mini Mayweather versus Midget Mania. Big shout out to our boy there, Billy Blade.
Okay,
Who's running that?
I won't be out here for that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, right.
And that's a shame because Vendetta runs that Central Coast, and I used to live there in Lompoc. Fortunate, I've been able to go to a couple of their shows when I'm down there, but we didn't have much of that when I was on the Central Coast there. I think APW came twice in 7 years, something like
This
that.
is Lompoc, California?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I didn't really get involved in stuff till I moved here and found the school and everything. But yeah, shouts out to the NorCal promotions that are like doing the right thing, paying the boys and running their business like a business, making money.
Yes, sir.
FTF.
Dale, help us wrap this thing on up here.
All right, so we touched on it a little bit. So go ahead and kind of let everybody know when this year's King of the Taco tournament and your Taco Fest is going down.
It's going down September 16th and 17th at the Sands Regency in Reno, Nevada, downtown. Under the big top. So it's much like a circus setup, if that makes any sense. It's a 2-day festival. The actual tournament will just be on Sunday. Saturday, I have 4 shows, one at 2 o'clock, one at 4 o'clock, one at 6 o'clock, and then a main show at 8 o'clock, which is going to be a little bit longer. And we're going to build storylines up throughout the day. I'm not sure if it was you that told this or somebody the other day. I think it was you that told you how I've written for this show. Is kind of cool because in the past when I've done shows, I've always gone into shows not knowing when the next show is. Like, let's write something that makes the fans happy tonight. This is kind of cool because having the 6 shows, I have a chance to actually story like a progressive few weeks of TV, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
In just a few shows in a couple days. So it's kind of cool. I'm going to do something like that. The tournament itself, first round is going to kick off Sunday at noon, and then we got at 2 o'clock the finals, or second round the finals, so semifinals and the finals. And then a little something special there too. So and there's going to be a lot of special surprises. We got some good stuff happening. That's going to be, like I said, at the Sands Regency downtown. And of course, you can go to Action Packed Wrestling Nevada. Always like that and check it out. And we're going to be announcing. We've got some interesting people coming in this year. Some new superstars. So I'm not really sure. How I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I will say we've got some surprises.
Okay.
We are bringing back Frisco Flame.
Oh, wow.
Frisco Flame.
Frisco.
Yeah, he has not wrestled in Reno in quite a while.
He hadn't wrestled in a while.
Yeah,
Just got back into it, I hear too.
Right. Yeah. And he has roots here, so we're gonna bring him back, and so it's gonna be fun.
Okay.
And on top of that, we've got the King of the Tacos 2016, Jeff Orcutt, coming back from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So, and of course, Adam Reyes is going to be with us.
He hit us up earlier, man. We're now connected with him on Facebook. We did sub for sub, so we support each other's channels.
A great dude.
Yeah.
He is probably, easiest person to work with ever. Which is good for him, but I just like working with him. He's always got a good team of people together that want to help out. And so I really enjoy the Utah folks that are coming out, the respect they have. They've been really good to me so far. So that's a big thing. I also got one other surprise that I did not announce until now. So we might as well go ahead and announce it. I think listen, man, I knew I had to do something big for this tournament. I'm not saying that, this is the end all be all of it, but I definitely wanted to do something big. So I searched high, I searched low, I searched throughout the country, everywhere, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized something. For this King of the Tacos tournament, I want to make it a big thing. So I went internationally.
Okay.
And I actually got myself a super estrella.
A superstar from
Right.
Mexico,
Right.
I'm assuming, right?
No. Let's go a little bit further south. Actually, Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Tenacious Tim Anderson is going to be here. Tim,
Come on in here, Tim.
come on in here, brother.
We're calling your name, brother.
We're calling you out.
This dude.
He's back. This is his first
Check
sighting.
out this bad motherfucker right here. Step in the shot here, Tim. So what's up to our viewers, man?
What's up?
This dude's got to be on the King of Taco show. So hey,
That's
if
right.
you ain't gonna come out and see everybody else, at least come out and see Tim, man.
Yeah, screw those other fools.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, definitely. So Tim Anderson back from Brazil. Just Tim, just real quick, man. Like, so you were down at BWF in Brazil. Did television down there, pay-per-views down there. Worked with a bunch of different names, and in fact, actually, was recently looked at by NXT at the WWE Performance Center. So, some big things definitely happening for Tim.
Cool.
Anything else you want to elaborate on, man?
Nah, man.
He's just happy.
I'm just happy to be back.
He's happy to be in the good old
That's
Happy
US.
to be in the United States.
Yeah. Me and this dude got the same birthday, man. So 2 Leos right here.
Right.
We celebrate our birthdays together. So yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, cool. Man.
all three.
Don't finish that chicken breast.
Oh.
You need to get big by the time.
At least y'all two, since Tim's about to go finish his meal. How do the viewers stay in contact with y'all on social media? Like
Just
Facebook?
Action Packed Wrestling Nevada on Facebook. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, man, this is it's really wrestling has taken a few weird turns for me,
Mhm.
and I'm just happy once a year booking one show if that's what it is, and no big deal, and I'm completely fine with that. And so there really isn't much to it. Is there maybe other shows coming up? I don't know. If there is, I'm gonna keep y'all in the dark anyway. Sometimes you got to keep people in the dark to let things work, and then once they've worked, then you kind of announce it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Mhm.
until something's in my hand, I'm not gonna announce it.
True.
So you know what I mean?
Hey,
So that's just one of those things.
got you, man. Hey, it's been a pleasure having y'all on our show. So one thing is for sure, we can sit here and talk to Jay and talk to my man, Dr. Laslo, all night long about what's happening with the King of the Tacos tournament and pro wrestling and announcing all that good stuff. But unfortunately, we are coming to the close of this episode of the No Gimmicks podcast. So thank you for tuning in for our interview with Dale and I for the second time around with one Mr. J Biggs and Dr. Laslo. So we are No Gimmicks, No Image, all wrestling, all the time. Please subscribe to our official YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/The No Gimmicks Podcast. Make sure that you subscribe publicly so that way we are aware of your support. Also, check out Craig Perkins' article, Around the Ring and Back Again, on ProWrestling.com. We would like to hear from our viewers, so please leave us some feedback in our comment section. Also, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at The No Gimmicks PC. Remember, sharing is caring. Feel free to share the links to our episodes with other professional wrestling fans and on your social media accounts as well. That does it for this episode of No Gimmicks Podcast on the 3 and Out Radio Network. For my tag team partner Dale Clifford in Fernley, Nevada, this is Todd Smith in Bristol, Connecticut signing off. Until next time around, y'all take care.